Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky animal shelter is having to get police involved after recent threats for not taking in animals. And Commonwealth superintendents were at the Capitol to voice their concerns over the lack of raises for teachers.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 5:30 on Thursday, February 15th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
And Olivia, it's a good Thursday morning, seasonably cool as we check out our view outside our studios. Little layer of fog looks like it's trying to develop. Nonetheless, not the pea soup thick stuff we dealt with yesterday. Good news regarding the Kentucky River over in Estill County, getting below an action stage as the river continues to recede, getting below the action stage this afternoon. Another opportunity here for rainfall as we head through Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Got to keep an eye on the transition to some snow. We'll talk more about that in the main weather hit coming up about 10 to 12 minutes. Temps this morning basically in the 30s, 40 though as you make way through Jackson. As we've had a clear sky in the overnight period, some clouds trying to track in from the south and west. Some clouds as well coming in from the north and west. And it's this system here that may lend itself to the slightest risk of a shower as we head through this afternoon. Otherwise, we average out to being partly sunny with highs in the upper 50s and close to 60 for an afternoon high. More about the incoming precipitation for tomorrow evening. Notice the word choice. I know. First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Thank you, Tim. One Eastern Kentucky county is cracking down on animal cruelty. The Estill County Animal Shelter is no stranger to animal abuse and neglect. Last week, shelter workers were confronted by someone who threatened to kill puppies with a hammer if they did not take them in. The shelter is now partnering with the Estill County Sheriff's Office to combat these situations. Sheriff Chris Flynn says they are dealing with 3 to 5 cases at this moment.
Here recently, it's been a lot of hoarding type cases, some even meeting the definition of the animal cruelty criminal charge.
Flynn says his office will be holding pet owners accountable when their pets are not up to date on certain vaccinations like their rabies shot. A Magoffin County man is facing child sexual exploitation charges. Detectives with the KSP's electronic crime branch arrested 42-year-old Kent Simpkins. An investigation was started by KSP once they found Simpkins was uploading sexually explicit pictures of minors to an online social media account. Simpkins was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. A Tennessee teenager is behind bars after police say he reportedly shot a man in Middlesboro. Officers were dispatched to Middlesboro ARH Hospital for a gunshot victim last week. According to the citation, a witness told police she and the victim were chased by a man in a Kia Soul after the victim asked her to take him to the hospital. The man in the Kia Soul was 19-year-old Bradley King. King was taken to the Bell County Detention Center. A Owen County woman is facing multiple charges after police say she threatened to kill a man. It happened last week when Hazard PD were called out to a home on Rowell Street in Perry County. According to the arrest citation, the man told police the woman broke into the home with a pocket knife and threatened to kill him. The citation says 45-year-old Marsha Bowling also broke into another home. Bowling was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail. In Laurel County, a London man is behind bars after police say he was driving on a DUI suspended license. Deputies with the sheriff's office responded to a 2-vehicle crash Tuesday night. During an investigation, officials determined 42-year-old Gary Solfridge was driving under the influence. Solfridge is facing multiple charges and was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Law enforcement from Knox and Laurel counties have teamed up to bring 9 people into custody following a drug bust. Jasa Ingold, Joseph Holt, James Max Heron, Charles Fields, Eric Wilson, Josh Messer, Larry Tyler Hammonds, Jamerson Cannon, and Tyler Ross were arrested for trafficking in illegal drugs. All 9 people were taken to the Knox County Detention Center. As February 15th arrives, so does the beginning of the spring forest fire season. Along with paying attention to changing weather conditions, it's important to stay fire wise during the season and remove any leaves, debris, and firewood from your yard and against your home. This will help to protect your home if fires are nearby. State officials say nearly 2/3 of all fires in Kentucky are the result of human action. The spring fire season runs through April 30th. During this time, it is illegal to burn anything within 150 feet of the woods or brush between the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Kentucky Community and Technical College System is celebrating its 25th anniversary as the Commonwealth's largest post-secondary institution with 16 colleges and more than 70 campuses. And officials with the institution say they have an annual enrollment of 101,000 students. Yesterday, I was able to speak with the new KCTCS president, Dr. Ryan Quarles, to learn how they are helping lead the Commonwealth in more ways than one. A study by market analytics firm Lightcast found that the Kentucky Community and Technical College System added $3.9 billion in annual income to Kentucky's economy in the 2022-2023 fiscal year. KCTCS President Dr. Ryan Quarles explains what this means for the Commonwealth.
That's about 1.6% of the total economy of Kentucky that lies at the feet of our community and technical colleges. And what does that translate into? Well, it means that Kentuckians that go through our programs are making more money. On average, $10,000 more annually if you acquire a degree, whether it's welding, electrician.
And when it comes to those jobs, KCTCS has supported more than 54,000 jobs, which equates to 1 out of every 49 jobs in the Commonwealth. Quarles says that means KCTCS is a huge asset when it comes to recruiting companies.
A lot of companies, they want to make sure that there's water, there's sewer, but they also need to know that there's workers available. And so if we are recruiting a business to say Southeast Kentucky, and we can get them on the phone and say, we have a community and technical college system that wants to work with you. Oftentimes, that's just one more carrot to get that company to come to Kentucky.
Now, as the institution looks ahead and as Quarles steps into this new role, he plans to maintain their affordability, access, and promise for growth.
Let's future-proof KCTCS by making sure that Kentucky, not California, not New York, but Kentucky is the place where new degrees are starting that align with, say, battery plants, that align with fiber optics, that align with aerospace, that other states come to us to say, how'd you do it here?
And KCTCS currently has 16 colleges with more than 70 campuses. Quarles says only about 56% of Kentuckians aged 18 to 65 are currently in the workforce. If you would like more information on the Kentucky Community and Technical College System, you can find this story on our website. In 2019, former Governor Matt Bevin issued more than 600 pardons and commutations during his final weeks in office. State lawmakers called for state and federal investigations. That was even backed by Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, who called the actions completely inappropriate. Now Kentucky lawmakers want to use the past as a learning experience. Senator Chris McDaniel introduced Senate Bill 126. He says he wants more accountability for governors facing election.
I think that it is imperative to the foundational issues of justice in the Commonwealth that one individual not be able to short-circuit the entirety of a justice system, from the frontline police officer who makes an arrest to the Supreme Court of the land, who in a sentence of the condemned to death is the final adjudicator.
The bill proposes a constitutional amendment putting the decision in the hands of the voters. Frustrations and concerns were voiced yesterday by a group of superintendents in Kentucky. They were worried if teacher raises are not included in the state budget, Kentucky will start losing ground. Sitting right in the capital city, Franklin County schools have felt the impact of the competitive market. Officials with the Estill County school system say they are worried about the effects as well.
when it comes to the education that they're getting. I feel like we do a really good job for that, but obviously if you're getting $1 million or $2 less a year on a population our size of about 2,050, that's $1 million or $2 million less that I have to spend on my students.
While many of them say they appreciate some of the efforts in the proposal, they hope to see some changes to increase guaranteed base seek to push funds through the districts to provide the raises their staff needs. And when we return, DC and Marvel are teaming up to release their classic crossover comics.
Goodness, that takes me back over the years. I won't date myself that far. Anyhow, check out the temps this morning. They do vary, and for some of us, it's a seasonably cool start to the day. How do we finish, and is that dreaded snow word in the forecast again? We'll let you know. Your First Alert 7-day forecast is up after the break.